This is TechCrunch.
Google is forming a new team to build AI that can simulate the physical world. I'm Zeke Robinson, and it's now time for your Daily Crunch for Tuesday, starting with 3 big headlines. Online spending rose 3% to a record $1.2 trillion globally over the holiday period, with U.S. sales specifically growing 4% to $282 billion. That's according to a new report from Salesforce, which aggregated data from across its various cloud services, including Agentforce, Commerce Cloud, Marketing Cloud, and Service Cloud, to garner insights into spending activity spanning 1.5 billion shoppers across dozens of countries from November 1st through December 31st, 2024. Overall, the figures fall slightly short of Salesforce's forecast. It had predicted holiday period online sales growth of 2%, or $1.19 trillion. Despite that shortfall, marquee dates saw standout performances. Black Friday transactions increased 5% to a record $74.4 billion, while Cyber Monday sales grew 3% to $49.7 billion. And Thanksgiving generated $33.6 billion in sales globally, up 6%. There is another current that could undercut these numbers, though, a higher-than-normal rate of returns. Salesforce said that consumers have already recouped $122 billion from merchandise returned to retailers. That's up by 28% on last year, a figure that could eventually raise to $133 billion, according to the report. Tech companies love rolling a robot out on stage. These systems serve as shorthand for consumer electronics brands branching out into more bleeding-edge category. On occasion, we get an Amazon Astro or Sony Aibo that actually hit in the market in some form. More often than not, however, the robots only exist in the land of press conferences. Samsung's Ballie has been kicking around the CES circuit for half a decade now. The home robot got some upgrades at CES 2024, including a project. Ultimately, however, it didn't appear to roll any closer to market. Fast forward to CES 2025, and we now have a very rough timeline for launch. Samsung this week confirmed that the robot is set to hit the market at some point in the next 12 months. It still has a rough path ahead, however. According to Samsung, Ballie acts as a personal home assistant, autonomously driving around the home to complete various tasks. Beyond the vacuum, home robots have struggled to make any headway. Large companies have abandoned projects and smaller startups have shuttered. There are simply not enough features to justify such high price tags. Will Ballie be any different? Probably not, though we wouldn't be surprised if the anthropomorphic ball got at least a little traction in Samsung's native South Korea. The US and the rest of the world are another question altogether. Google is forming a new team to work on AI models that can simulate the physical world. Tim Brooks, one of the co-leads on OpenAI's video generator Sora, who left for Google's AI research lab, Google DeepMind, in October, will lead the new team, he announced in a post on X. It'll be a part of Google DeepMind. According to job listings Brooks linked to in his post, the new modeling team will collaborate with and build on work from Google's Gemini, Veo, and Genie teams to tackle critical new problems and scale models to the highest levels of compute. Gemini is Google's flagship series of AI models for tasks like analyzing images and generating text, while Veo is Google's own video generation model. As for Genie, it's Google's take on a world model, AI that can simulate games and 3D environments in real time. Google's latest Genie model, previewed in December, can generate a massive variety of playable 3D worlds. Brooks' new team will look to develop real-time interactive generation tools on top of the models they build and study how to integrate their models with existing multimodal models such as Gemini. A number of startups and big tech companies are chasing after world models, including influential AI researchers Fei-Fei Li's World Labs, Israel's startup Descartes, and Odyssey. They believe that world models could one day be used to create interactive media like video games and movies and run realistic simulations like training environments for robots. But creatives have mixed feelings about the tech. And now we go to producer Dennis with today's startup news in about 1 minute.
Thank you, Zeke. And we begin with LV. This female-founded hardware startup has unveiled a new app-controlled smart bouncer that gently transforms into a bassinet while the baby is still in it. With the new LV Rise announced at CES 2025 on Monday, parents and caregivers don't have to move their baby between soothing, sleep, and play products. The startup is known for its portfolio of women's health products and is now expanding into the sleep category with its latest product. In agriculture, which consumes about 70% of global freshwater, is grappling with increased water scarcity and the inefficient irrigation systems. Traditional methods of irrigation not only lead to wasted water and nutrients, but also contribute to lower crop yields, food insecurity, and unnecessary carbon emissions. Hong Kong-based agriculture technology startup Full Nature Farms thinks there's a better way. At CES 2025 on Monday, the company launched its Rocket 2.0 smart irrigation platform, a system that uses data and AI to create a 30% reduction in water costs, reduce energy consumption, and improve crop yields. And that'll do it for me. Zeke, back to you.
And that's your Daily Crunch. Today's stories were reported by Paul Sawyers, Kyle Wiggers, Brian Heater, and more TechCrunch journalists. We'll see you next week, and until then, find us at TechCrunch.com.